Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk with Casey and Mike. We appreciate you guys coming to join us one more time on this Thursday evening. Um, this week's topic, we put celebrating holidays, but we're going to get a little bit more detailed or a little bit more in depth than that because we July 4th is on Saturday, and it got us to thinking about holidays and how we celebrate holidays and why do we do it and who participates and not the history behind it because it's getting a little deep. But as we thought about it, I had several people say, "Hey, happy July 4th." Again, we might make some people mad here, and I was like, "Thank you." But let's think about July 4th and what it represents and where we were during that time at 1776. So when America gained independence, um, for Black people it was a little different. And when 1776, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be careful because okay, um, we didn't have much to celebrate in 1776. And don't get me wrong for those people to say, well, if you don't like living here, then why don't you just move? What that's not my point. My point is during that time we didn't have much to celebrate. We were slaves, and we were slaves many years after that. And so I was thinking about that, and then I thought about because when I drive through my neighborhood, you see the flags, everything is out there. It's like, whoo, we're gonna have fireworks and all this and so on and so forth. And I understand where they're coming from to a point. But me as an individual, it's like, and I thought about this when I was young, so I'm like, what are we doing? I love the day off. I do. But like what as Black people are we really celebrating? And then I thought about Juneteenth. Oh, I'm gonna make some people mad, some Black people mad about this. Love the holiday. I do. I just wish we would have came up with another name other than Juneteenth, but I digress. Okay, so I was trying to think like when I'm going through the office, people say, "Hey, happy July 4th." Juneteenth, which is a significant holiday for Black people because yeah, it was from deception because people didn't want here in Texas didn't want people to know they were free from slavery, and no one said happy Juneteenth. There's nothing in the yards. There's all these things to me that is significant. But if I say one thing about July 4th, then I'm the bad guy because I have reservations in my mind about being happy during July 4th. And again, I understand where people are coming from with it. But I have another deal. We'll talk about those two things, but then I went to Thanksgiving. The history of Thanksgiving. We celebrate it again. Love the time off. I do. But there are things that we're celebrating that, Native Americans, am I going to go to Native Americans and say, happy Thanksgiving? And they're like, well, no, that wasn't really happy for me or my ancestors and my people. And so that's kind of the thing that we're going to be discussing today. So, because it feels like I'm rambling and I have a lot of things to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and push it to you so I don't hog up that.
Yeah, man. Holidays. You're talking to somebody who I'm not even big on birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's another day that the good Lord has kept me, and I'm thankful for that.
Yep.
Thanksgiving is great, but what initiated Thanksgiving? In all things, we should be giving thanks. I mean,
Absolutely.
we should, we as people, as whatever you want to call us, Americans, as African Americans, Black Americans, people in general, we wait on these special days to do something special. And
Right.
that's a problem. I think that's a problem. I feel like, we should, why we got to wait until Thanksgiving to have a soup kitchen for the homeless? Why we got to wait
Absolutely.
until Christmas to hand out socks and hats and
Absolutely.
shoes? It's and then when we do it as a group, as churches or as foundations, and we do it, it's still commercialized from the aspect of wanting people to know this is what we're doing. Like, just do it. Just go
Right.
do it. No
Yeah.
cameras,
Yeah.
no posts,
Yes.
no look at me, be good.
Yes.
Just do it. Just help someone and don't say anything about it. I reflect to the scripture when Jesus was helping people. He was like, don't say anything. No,
Yeah.
and at times he did say, go and tell them what has happened for you. And we us as people, I think we're so driven by notoriety and commercialism.
Yep.
We just want to we want to do something grand, and it's just it's killing your pockets, whether you're rich, wealthy, whether you're middle class, whether you're lower class. Trying to do things just because of a special day. um Every day is special. Every day we live, move, and have our being is special, in my opinion. Like I say, I'm not big on birthdays. I do it for the kids. I do it for the kids. When you talk about Christmas, no, nobody knows when Christ was born. We don't know when it was. We chose December 25th, or they chose it, and we just kind of fallen in line. It's just a day. But how do we honor the birth of Christ? It's well discussed in the scriptures. We know it. The baby born and having to be in a trough, basically. They call it a manger, but it was the animals' feeding place. But they talked about the wise men and the North Star, and they made it. And I'm not saying they. I'm sorry. The Holy Scriptures are not they, but the story of Christ being born was a grand story. And for me, that's why I say I kind of do it for the kids, to allow them to understand how special the moment was. And I know for a lot of years we did the tree, and we still kind of do songs and things for the children, but I don't really know how much of it is beneficial to us on a daily basis. I really don't.
I'm going to take a crazy left. I'm going to take a crazy left on this. Speaking of the Bible and when Christ was born, and of course we don't know, but why don't we celebrate the celebrations in the Bible? Let the Jewish people do it. Is it just for the Jewish people, or should everyone celebrate the Passover and all? Because there are many celebrations in the Bible. Why don't we celebrate those?
Yeah, I think it's kind of along the lines, like you say, for the Jews, for different religions. They did different things. I don't know if we have the significance that they had for those things. I think you just honor God. I really do. I think you just honor God, and not try to add to your life by good works, but just being a good person. And Christ just wants us to be holy. And I ain't going down the whole scripture lane, but Christ just wants us to be holy. But as people, speaking on celebrating holidays, I don't know the significance. I think it's good that we are in a free country.
Yes.
I do understand that we are in a free country. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah. I'm going to say a free country, but still not an equal country.
Very good.
I don't think we've ever reached that plateau.
No, you're right. You're right. We've never hit it.
Yeah. We have civil rights. We never, ever. And there are Black people that have achieved some miraculous things. Granted. But there are so many others that have never had the same resources to be equal to start with. There are people that's just been blessed. I mean, Black people are some of the smartest, the best inventors. Like we've discussed this, like our daily living wouldn't be comfortable without the inventions of Black people.
But it's a lot of them. I mean, there are a lot And it feels like we are still fighting to get recognition for those things, but
We're always going to fight.
it
Yeah,
feels like that fighting is why we have to fight. You know what I mean? Like why do we have to fight for those things when it just should be? And we know what it should be.
Yeah.
And we know that there will always be others. I mean, look at it now, that try and tear us down and try and bring whatever. And I understand that, but it's like this mouse on a treadmill, just running, trying to grab something, trying to get something, just to show you, not to say that, oh, you lower than us, you better than this, and we're better than you, and things of that nature. It's like crap. It's like, and then when you say, nope, everybody has the same opportunity. If I hear that mess one more time, and I've heard it a lot in my career, I've heard that term. Oh, all you got to do is just try. Everybody's on equal footing, and everybody is like, oh.
I want you to think about this.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Think about when in scripture, let my people go. All right. Didn't want to let the slaves go.
Right.
Kept being attacked with the plagues. Finally, when death hit his home, he allowed them to go. But then he still like, no, you know.
Went after them.
But they had somewhere to go. They left. So you got to think about slavery like this. Let my people go. Even though a piece of paper said we were free, we're still here. And I'm saying we because that's our people. And you can talk about, oh, that was so long ago. You've never been a slave. Well, you know, it's still sad that slaves in my family were only a couple of generations before me.
It is that it is.
It still has a bearing on the way people think. It still has a bearing, and especially if you were raised to have that fear from people who had the endings of slavery, you know. But those of us who were taught to speak your mind, to have a voice, to speak up and to stand for what's right, you know, that's it's always gonna feel like a fight to our people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long we are here. I feel like that's something that we won't see in our lifetime. I'm gonna tell you that. The equality, the civility, that's what Dr. King knows fought for. They fought for civil rights. They fought for civil rights, and I'm sure they thought that would lead to equal rights. But man, we
absolutely are. We absolutely are.
Let me read what Tanya got here. Black people have never been given the recognition or reparations, but other races that were wrong have been at least attempted to make whole. You know something I found out years ago, and I really didn't have much research behind it, but then since then I've heard it several times that the reparations were given, but they were given to slave owners. The reparations were actually given out, but they were given to the owners of slaves. And you know they gonna always fight. You know, 40 acres and a mule. I'm telling you, some people would sell it off like it ain't nothing because they don't want to upkeep the property. Give me 40 acres and a mule.
No, that's right.
I'll show you something. And I think that's where, you know, that equal playing field has never been something that we've been allowed to have. You know, give us the same resources. And I'm not saying give us because our people earned it, but pay it out. Give it back.
Right.
Give it back.
See, and that's where that's where we get this y'all lazy deal. Y'all black people, y'all lazy. Well, you know what? Let's go back. Let's go back. How this country was built. Literally, the wealth of this country was built on our backs. And I'm not like, oh, you just exaggerating. No. Literally, if you have 1,000 acres and you don't have to pay for labor, you're rich. You're going to get rich instantly because of those things. And so saying that, oh, y'all lazy and this and that. Well, the rich people, most rich people have money because of those things, because of that time. And so there's there's a mentality that was beat into us and then you say, oh, you're just lazy, you're just this. Well, you know, there were times that you know, they had Black Wall Street and Cedar Key and Cedar Key, the Rosewood.
Rosewood.
When we have this, and then when you see we have it, and then it's torn down, when it's like, okay, we don't need it, we'll do this. Oh no, you're getting too whatever you are, so we have to tear that down. Oh my gosh, I've gotten so far off topic. I'm sorry. And so, but it goes back to 1776 when it's like, well, should I be celebrating this? Because we were taken advantage of, we were beat, we were raped, you took our women, you did all these things. And that day, 1776, takes us back to that. That's what we think of when 1776. That's how we think. So don't come at me with, you should be grateful. No, don't tell me what to be grateful for, because when you were spitting on us and putting dogs on us and putting hoses on us, oh, that was so long ago. That was what your grandparents saw that. So don't give me that. Don't give me those things, because there are so many things that are triggering for us that we are told, oh, get up, stop talking about that. You know what? I'll stop talking about it once things become equal. And then once that happens, I promise you, I'll stop. Talking about it.
Alicia dropped a thought that I had briefly while we were talking about reparations, and her comment says reparations have been given to the Japanese Americans, Native Americans, and the Jewish community after World War II to Holocaust survivors. Oh, but now it's going to be given to January 6 offenders, victims. Which are they offenders or are they victims? Which?
Oh my goodness, so,
and it's not a white and black thing. I think it's just a right and wrong thing, man. I think it's people just don't understand how important it is to be on the right side of right.
That's the core. Right and wrong is the actual core of it. That is the actual core of it. And to speak to what Alicia said a little bit, so this is, and I agree with it. What drives me bonkers is Native Americans were here. They were here. It was taken, and here we're going to give you some land for you to live on, a reservation. So I understand where you're coming from, but that does not sit well with me at all.
We found this house that you're living in.
Yes.
We're gonna take it, but you can stay in the garage, but we're gonna have the rest of the house. We discovered this house that was already here with bricks and mortar.
Hey, is that our fault? Is it our fault that we don't have it? Because, like Alicia said, she's right. Japanese Americans got it. Native Americans, Jewish community. Why is it they got it and we don't? I know they look at us as less than human, or they do. Some don't. Some whatever. I understand that, but. But what's the rationale behind? Is it because they're scanned in darkest hours? I mean, what is it? What is it?
And it's just me talking. I think what we saw from Black leaders back in the day, they did the same things. And this is not all people. These are hateful people that I'm talking about. And if you agreed with what the hateful people did, then you're a hateful person,
right?
And you disagree with me. Now we can be adults about it. We can talk about it. I don't care how you feel about me. I don't care about making anybody upset when we're speaking on truth. But these are just my opinions. I think we didn't get what we should have gotten because the leaders that had the platforms that could have gotten it were all taken out. And then you gotta remember. You know, after Martin Luther King, what real leader was there?
Cause I'm glad you brought that up.
When you take out Martin Luther King, when you take out Malcolm X, and then even leaders of much smaller groups, local leaders, the Medgar Evers, you look at the people who weren't massive leaders, but they were just people who were trying to strengthen their communities. And when they were taken out, you know, anybody who sees somebody who is of importance and of significance with a following being killed, it's like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Okay,
Absolutely.
y'all. Let's just go on and live in our communities and keep our heads down. They tell you that a lot. Just keep your head down and work. Man, bump that.
Yeah.
No, look, nah.
Okay, so I'm going to say this about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and so you know what they had that there's very little love of these days. They were willing to sacrifice. They didn't mind not being comfortable. Everybody wants to become. They're willing to. They sacrifice. Look, they knew it was dangerous what they were doing. They knew it. And so the thing is, so I think our community has started looking to, we're going to look to the church and look to some pastors. And don't get me wrong, love God. You know the whole deal. But a lot of the pastors and stuff these days, they aren't leaders. They're just trying to get something, to get people to come into their church so they can fill their pockets. There's very few people, I don't know of any right now, who are willing to not look out for themselves.
They won't even speak. They won't even speak on the things publicly. You got a lot of pastors that'll talk a whole lot of mess as long as there ain't a whole lot of people around. But you don't have people that'll speak on real topics, will call out real hate, will call out favoritism, will call out racism. We'll call these things out in the public eye. So if you ain't gonna call it out publicly, get on, go on somewhere.
Because they always want something. At least you're trying to make me mad, cuz
Trump's anti-weaponization fund is going to give millions to the July 6th vote. He pardoned 1,500 from the Capitol riots. Don't we know this to be true?
That stuff. That's why I can't do the news, because that kind of thing.
I watch it. I watch it.
Tanya does. I can't.
I've watched. I mean, no, I am very decisive about what I watch, but I watch it. And I ain't gonna get on this whole Trump, because I know how I feel about Trump. Anybody who knows me know how I feel about Trump. I just feel like our country is going down the drain. But it is what it is. I just think that our people, as far, and we done went way off of celebrating holiday.
Sorry, y'all. We love y'all. We sorry.
Our people just got to step up, man. We got to do the things that are necessary and stop being who they expect us to be as a whole. Being who they expect us to be. Fatherless homes leads to children without real discipline. And that can happen in a home with fathers as well. But the percentages are much higher when you come from broken homes, when you come from single mothers trying to play the role of father and mother when they have not that capacity. You don't have the capacity to raise a man. It's just like a man I can't raise a woman. I can raise a female. I can raise her to be respectful, but I can't raise her to be what a woman is called to be. So women don't get offended by that when I say that, because you've stepped in the gap. You've done a marvelous job, but at some point in time, and I always tell men, it starts with us. It starts with us, man. We got to step up. We got to do better. Brothers who get upset with me, keep getting upset with me, because I'll say that I had to understand and come to the realization that, you know what, we got to do better. They have made it so easy for us to not be in the home, you know, and the women that have come along and had children, and you know, you can have this. We done talked about all that. You can have this $30 apartment as long as there's not a man there, as long as it's not guidance, protection.
And I know people can say, "Oh, you into that conspiracy theory?" Okay, and we've talked about this before. If you look at what's being put out, if you look at Facebook, if you look at whatever, there is a targeted. You can't tell me it's not targeted and it's not purposeful to put things out to make us look weak and sorry and fatherless and motherless. And when you look at movies drive me crazy. Look at the homes. When you have a movie, you have the black family, the white family, or the Asian family, I'm not exaggerating. 8 times out of 10, it does not look like it's a nice house or whatever. It is. It is. The streets are usually messed up. You look at commercials. You look at it is on purpose. You can't tell me that it's not, because when all right, I'm getting all whatever. So it is on purpose. So we have to be strong.
You're right.
And you have to be prayed up, and you have to, because this, again, in our lifetime, this is just what it is. But for those that believe in God, you just have to keep on, and you have to know that we aren't part. We're part of the world, but we aren't of the world. It might be opposite. I don't know what it is, and you have to believe that, because it will drive you crazy.
In the world,
because
but not
I have to.
sure.
I have to focus on that. I do. Oh my gosh! And for them fools, to say, it was the white man. We only look at they brought the Bible to us, and we have to do it. Shut up with that mess. Shut up with that mess.
The oldest Bible is the Ethiopian Bible. I mean, people have tainted the word. They've taken away from the word, and that's one of the things that's in the scriptures. But you know what? Read your word. There's study to show thyself approved, and that's one of the reasons I like bringing Alicia on with the whole law segments. I mean, there's so much that we allow to happen because we don't know. Don't know. So not just the word of God, but study the local statutes, study all the laws, know what's intact, what's in place around you. You know, all of these people who are going to the voting precincts and voting for certain things, like know what they stand for. But you're right. I think we have to stand up. The men in the communities have to stand up, and the women need to support the men when they do stand up. Quit pushing back, quit fighting, you know, and men in these Black communities, stand up, man. Stand up for what's right. Say something, see something, do something. Wait a minute.
Thank you, Miss Alicia. You are correct.
The Bible is controversial because it denounces racism. It's just been whitewashed to control. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
They've taken books out of the Bible. There's certainly more books in the Bible than the 66 that we were raised on, the King James Version. You know, there are certainly more books, and there are certainly more scripture, and there's a whole lot more truth that if you just read, you will see for yourself.
Yeah,
it's a lot that's been that's why a lot of churches are in trouble, because
that's
you know, people don't read past them 66 books, and they just listen to the man that's up front. And,
I mean, they got to read those books first. Read
right.
Those first. And I mean, there's enough in those 66 for you to say, "Oh my gosh, that's right." But you get people who manipulate it and go to these churches where they're preaching hate, and all right, we're at 30 minutes, cuz.
We good, man. We're good. Black women went to the polls, sir, over 90%. So Alicia, I'm not arguing with you tonight. Yeah, that's not what we're doing. We're not talking about. We went to the polls too. We went.
But you know what? Yeah, and I'm gonna say this.
We got to do better.
I'm trying to get in, and I'm gonna let this go. The ignorant men out there who say I can't follow a woman, a Black woman. There was a lot of that. I saw a lot of that, cuz Black men saying I ain't following no woman. She can't do it there. And okay, that stuff that drove me crazy. It was all over Facebook. Just ignorance. Yeah. Okay. I love you guys. I do.
Look what you're following now. Yeah, we gonna have you back, Alicia. You're gonna get your rant. You're gonna get your time. Hey, y'all, thank y'all again. It's been great. Let's talk with Casey and Mike. We have had a blast once again. Y'all be safe. Don't blow off no fingers. Don't set no houses on fire. And please don't let your kids run around with the little rockets. God bless.
Love you guys. Take care.